Welcome once again to Things You Don't Learn in School. So today we are going to tackle the final part and we're going to look at leaving a legacy. So number one, legacy thinking, or part one, legacy thinking, wealth beyond you. Real wealth is not how much you can spend. It's what continues when you're gone. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 22 teaches us that a good man leaves an inheritance of moral stability and goodness to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinners finds its way eventually into the hands of the righteous, for whom it was laid up. Legacy is not only property, it's principles. Teach your children discipline, generosity, and God's order for money. If you leave them assets without wisdom, you've built sand castles. If you leave them wisdom, they'll rebuild any castle they lose. Number two, let's look at generosity as a wealth multiplier. In God's economy, giving is growth. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6 to 8 says that, remember this, he who sows sparingly and grudgingly will also reap sparingly and grudgingly. And he who sows generously, that blessing may come to someone, will also reap generously and with blessings. Let each one give thoughtfully and with purpose, as he has made up his own mind and purposed in his heart, not reluctantly or sorrowfully or under compulsion. For God loves, he takes pleasure in, prizes above other things, and is unwilling to abandon or to do without a cheerful, joyous, prompt to do it giver. And God is able to make all grace, every favor and earthly blessing come to you in abundance. So we learn here that generosity keeps your heart light and your hands open for new increase. Many Kenyan entrepreneurs who tithe or give faithfully testify that their ventures stabilize. Supplies appear and opportunities multiply. That's not like, it's spiritual alignment with a law that predates banking. Number three, let's look at guarding against greed. In 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10, we see that for the love of money, underline the love of money, not money. The love of money is a root of all evils. It is through this craving that some have been led astray and have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves through with many acute pangs. Money itself is neutral. Greed poisons it. If your pursuit of wealth replaces your pursuit of God, you'll lose both. Keep your motives clean. Build so that others can eat, learn, and worship because of your stewardship. Number four, seek wisdom first. James 1:5 teaches us that if any of you is deficient in wisdom, let him ask of the giving God, who gives to everyone liberally and ungrudgingly, without reproaching or fault-finding, and it will be given him. Before every investment, ask, is this aligned with my purpose? Does it honor God and serve people? And have I done my due diligence? That's prayer meeting data analysis, faith and intellect working together. Number five, let's look at Joseph's blueprint for national wealth. And this we see it in Genesis chapter 41. Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream, 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. He stored a fifth of the harvest during plenty, so Egypt and surrounding nations survived famine. That's emergency funds and strategic reserves at national scale. So Joseph proved that planning is not unbelief. It's wisdom under divine instruction. Number six, let's look at the kingdom order of priorities. And we see this in Matthew chapter 6:33. It says, seek, aim at, and strive after, first of all, his kingdom and his righteousness, his way of doing and being right. And then all these things taken together will be given to you besides. This is the safeguard for every principle we've discussed. Save, but don't idolize savings. Invest, but don't worship returns. Build, but remember who gives the increase. When God is first, everything else finds balance. Number 7, this is our final reflection. Time will move whether you act or not. The question isn't, can I get rich? But it's, will I let time and discipline make me fruitful? Will I make time my servant? Psalms 24 verse 1 says that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness of it, the world and they who dwell in it. So you're not only managing you're not only managing wealth, but you're managing what already belongs to God. So manage it well. Because when you work with time, you are working with one of God's greatest gifts, a resource everyone gets equally, but few steward wisely. If you read Ecclesiastes, there's a place that talks that the race is not to the swift, blah, 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 but time and chance happens to them all. So one thing that we have is time and chance. So how we use it will determine who gets ahead and who doesn't. So now that you know this, and reflecting on what we discussed in part 1 and in part 2 and now in part 3, this week, export your M-Pesa statement, know where your money goes, track your finances. This month, open an MMF or a SACCO account and automate a deposit. By automating, I mean tell your HR to do checkoffs directly. This quarter, pay off one debt and replace that payment with investment. And this year, teach someone else what you've learned here. On the comment section, if you're taking action based on what you've learned, I'd like you to leave a comment and say, I'm starting, if you're done making excuses. So share this vlog so that someone else learns that time, not talent, is the real multiplier. Take your first investment step by subscribing. So, and remember this is the golden tip. Discipline plus time plus godly wisdom equals to fruitful results. Discipline plus time plus godly wisdom equals to fruitful results. So go build quietly, steadily, faithfully, because wealth built with time lasts beyond you. Have a great time.